As one year ends, another begins. But I'll be honest, I thought last year was going to be the final chapter, as they say. But that never happened. It flat out didn't. For all intents and purposes, I survived another year. But like I said, I'm doing this not only to keep my channel going, but to prove those who try to put me down wrong. I have to prove to myself that I can still do this. Without further ado, I'm MegamanNG. I welcome you to the first monthly update of the new year, January 2025. Will this year be leading to a possible resurgence? I really don't know. I really don't have the answer. Given how YouTube loves to change things around and make things harder for us, you can tell. Let's get this journey underway. Now, before we begin, I do want to say that if you enjoy my content, please be sure to do these 5 simple things. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. Why do I keep saying this? Simple. Because last month's retention was better. However, being that this is a new month and with it a new year, all I want is simply one thing: to improve. That's all that matters. Let me just be blunt. The watch time for December 2024 was better, but only by a little. 76.4% of my watch time is from non-subscribers. Only 23.5% are from subscribers like all of you. Thanks for helping out with it. Can we improve it, especially since this is a new year? I want things to get better, not worse. But who am I kidding? Who even watches these updates? To anyone that is still watching me after so long, you have my thanks. Seriously. As I said, let's get this underway. Before I explain what this is, I'm going to make one thing perfectly clear. The real talk is not about anything negative. Well, sort of, but it does relate to the topic at hand. What I'm doing is raising awareness, since honestly, if I ain't doing it, who will? Okay then. This is real talk, but this also doubles as a way of raising awareness for what has happened. Second Rainfall, aka WTF is Nintendo thinking? Okay, so a few weeks ago, Idea Factory International announced that the Switch versions of the Hyperdimensional Neptunia Rebirth Trilogy and Death's End Request Code Z have their Western releases cancelled. I'm quite serious. The reason being is that these games' contents do not comply with Nintendo's guidelines. It doesn't end there, as another game also got the axe, Tokyo Clan Pool. Oh, and get this, the latest Neptunia game that's coming this year, Neptunia Riders vs. Dogo's Swimsuit DLC, was cancelled on the Switch version in the West, and yet on the PlayStation, it's left intact. Why am I mentioning all this? Simple. Because there's something I want to ask. What the hell is going on with Nintendo? Or more specifically, Nintendo's America and European branches. What the hell is going on? The games I mentioned are just the start of it. Hence why I have a list of every single game that Nintendo's US and EU branches have canceled and its reasoning behind it. Shoutouts to the Another Rainfall Discord server for all the info, by the way. It's been happening since 2023. First up is Tokyo Clan Pool. The publisher, East Asia Soft, mentioned difficulty releasing it in the West. A minigame, Ether Induction, was removed, even in Asia. Shoutouts to Joshua M. French for being vocal and transparent about this. Prison Princess, Trap the Lore. Reason? No release in the West despite English text in the Japanese version. Some touching features were gutted, yet the Steam version has everything intact. The Neptunia Rebirth Trilogy. Reason? Guidelines compliance issues due to content. Death's End Request Code Z. Guidelines compliance issues due to content. However, the PS4 version is getting a Western release. Daymare 1994. Reason? A spooky game from Italy. No reasons why there's no Western release. Red Neg All-Stars. Reason? Blocked by NOA and NOE due to expression restrictions. Seriously, what the hell are they? A Mario chocolate. Reason? No reason given. Publisher issued an apology. The Fox awaits me, Hana. Reason? Western release was canceled. Again, no reason given. Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs. No Western release despite being released on PlayStation and Steam. Hot Spring minigame lacks voices on the Switch despite being less censored visually. Night to Meet You. No Western release despite already out on Steam. Sakura Melody. All their games were exclusive to Switch, but for whatever reason, they moved to the PlayStation despite the censorship. The developers have stated it was a weird year, and we don't know what happened. Christmas Massacre. Yes, seriously, I am not kidding. That's the name of what it is. The reason why a Western-made game, but was a game entirely blocked by Nintendo. I mean, what? Canon. Western release was quietly canceled, and the Japanese version is now updated with English options. And finally, Neptunia Riders vs. Doggos. Swimsuit DLC now canceled only on the Switch in the West, but the PlayStation version is left intact. That's the list in a nutshell. Again, why am I mentioning all this? Because for whatever reason, Nintendo of America and Nintendo of Europe have decided to go back to how they used to be. Do you remember? Because it was not a pleasant time. It just wasn't, especially with their ludicrous content policies. I honestly thought they wouldn't go back. But surprise, surprise, they did. I'm not happy with it, and for good reason. In an industry that is plagued with the following: live service junk, DEI-riddled crap, along with companies that either support or work with it. Censorship for the sake of appealing to global standards, game cancellations, layoffs. I always felt that the Switch was a console that can let niche games exist. Unfortunately, given the recent turn of events, I doubt it. I flat out doubt it. This is why I'm basically doing this, or rather, be part of something that can hopefully lead to change. Twitter user Space Cadet Alec has been hard at work raising awareness over the whole mess. He calls it Second Rainfall, but we use the hashtag Second Rainfall. We're doing this to convince not only Nintendo of America, but also Nintendo of Europe to reverse their recent decisions and allow these games to be released in the West. This will not be easy, as it may prove to be a challenge. However, we as a group will do anything and everything possible to let them know that what they are doing to these various games is wrong. Censorship, no matter what it is wrong. This isn't the 1990s. This is 2025. We're already dealing with the worst that gaming has to offer, and I don't want things to get any more than it already is, or rather any worse. Change needs to happen. I want gaming to be better, to be unapologetic, and more importantly, uncensored. If you would like to join the Another Rainfall server, I'll be putting a link in the description below. The server will have all the information you need and what you can do to help. Gaming shouldn't have to bend the knee to the lowest common denominator. Gaming should be fun. It should be something that we all can enjoy, even if it is something that can attract a certain audience. I'm doing my part to help, and I only hope that you guys can do the same. Hell, I've sent emails to several creators hoping that they can raise awareness. Fortunately, one has. YouTuber Vera Dark. I'll be posting her video in the description. I am hoping others can do the same because honestly, this needs more exposure. You don't see the big sites like IGN or GameSpot talking about it because this fits their idiotic narrative. We need to make our voices loud enough so that Nintendo cannot ignore us. Something needs to be done. It has to be. I ended with a message to Nintendo's US and European branches. This will also be the only time where I use colorful language. And honestly, it's way overdue. My message is this. Nintendo of America, Nintendo of Europe, I have to ask, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? Why is it that now you decide to prevent games from coming over? Why is it that you go after these games when you've allowed much worse on your platform? I'll list a few examples. Anime Girls, Nutty New Year. Or rather, Natty New Year. Seriously, why is this game allowed on the eShop? I'm going a step further because there's more of this. Hentai Girls, Pretty Christmas, Anime Girls, Lovely Lolita, Hentai Girls, Sweet Skier. These aren't games at all. But also look at the ESRB rating. Mature 17 plus with nudity and sexual themes. So why do these games get a pass, while others like Tokyo Clan Pool, Neptunia Rebirth Trilogy, and Death's End Request Code Z do not? Can Nintendo of America please make some sense out of this crap? Because what I'm seeing is a double standard. Something that needs to be fixed. But wait! Let me go one step further, because I feel that this is not enough. Oh no, there's more. You have this slop being allowed, such as TCG Empire Card Shop Simulator and Trading Card Shop Simulator. Now what do these two games have in common? Simple. AI. AI slop. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. The previous games I mentioned are just simple puzzle games with the feeling that you're going to see sexy anime girls. Notice the problem? I know that the Nintendo eShop has been filled with nothing but low-effort garbage games. And believe me, there are much worse out there. I bring this up because I am exposing the hypocrisy that Nintendo of America has been doing with their policies as of late. Oh, and for good measure, I'm adding two more. Monkey Kong in New York and Wukong Sun Black Legend. Seriously, it's like they aren't even trying. At all. Nintendo says that they support independent developers, but this is just bottom of the barrel garbage. Absolute garbage. Given the list of games that I mentioned earlier, it's pretty clear that there's a double standard going on. I already mentioned this, but I'm going to repeat it anyway. What Nintendo of America, as well as Nintendo of Europe, is doing is only going to make things much worse. Because who's to say that it isn't enough? Who's to say that they'll push it further? Push it further to the point that games that are anime-like would be denied by these puritanical scumbags. I want to know. We all want to know. This is why I and many others are hoping to get Nintendo's attention on this. Something so that maybe they can reverse course, fix the mess, and allow games that were denied release, so people like myself and others can experience and play them. Do you want to be a part of this effort? I speak about it loudly on Twitter with hashtag secondrainfall. We have a Discord server for it. Links in the description below. Join the fight. Tell Nintendo that this is wrong and it needs to be reversed. I'm not giving up, and neither should any of you. Count on it. December of last year was basically home to a lot of things that were meant to be completed, along with stuff that I, for whatever reason, had to put off because of various priorities. It sucks, but such is life. I'm bad at this, but let me tell you, it's all I can do to keep myself from going nuts. Not that it matters because I can get nuts when needed. So for the time being, I'm taking things nice and slow. Let's begin with what I've done for the month of December. First is Mario & Luigi Brothership. To say that I enjoyed it was an understatement. I'll be flat out honest. I love this game so much. I really don't give a crap what IGN says. In fact, ignore IGN. This game is awesome, and I want more people to buy this game. Seriously. Sure, it can be a bit on the easy side, but it feels, in my opinion, to be a return for the Mario & Luigi series. I had fun with this game, and it was such a good time. There was no need for a post-game anyway. I mentioned this game already, but I may as well say it again. If you haven't gotten a chance to enjoy a Mario game like this, I highly recommend it. Seriously. Next is Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Yes, I've beaten the main game already and started the post-game. I honestly want to go back to it, but I'm still grinding. Why? Because the post-game is where I will have to literally pray that I don't snap in frustration over my lack of strategy. There's still the matter of the monster arena, as well as one of the toughest dungeons in the game, the Temple of Trials. It'll make me lower the difficulty to Draki quest because there's no way in hell I'm going to do this on medium. But when I do the super boss, then I'll do it normally. Trust me, I will be returning it when I can. Just please bear with me. Next is Sly 2, Band of Thieves. Surprised that I would return back to the Sly Cooper series? Well, when Sony decided to bring the next 2 games over, that's more than enough for me. Seriously, unlike the PS3 version, this felt more like a satisfying continuation. Seriously, I'm happy that I got to experience this, but if you're watching this, you can say that it's already done with Platinum in tow. For a $10 game, I'm happy to have played it. You guys should too, truly. Last but not least is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I forgot about this, and it was a Christmas miracle. I will say this game is really fun. Way better than that awful Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. That sucked. Here, though, it's much better. A lot better. And with the recent updates, it actually plays better. I did it on hard because there is no way I'm doing it on headache. Headache would be a nightmare of sorts unless you really know what you're doing. But yes, it's still a fun game, though I wish it was a bit longer. No complaints here. That's how it's going with what happened last month. Another month and another year behind us. All we can do is move forward. Now, with a new month means that there's a lot for us to do. But in terms of my plans for the month of January, here they are. Just know one simple thing. These can change on a whim at any time. I just want to let everyone know that. First is Yakuza Kiwami. Yes, it's back, and if you don't like it, too bad. As of this video, it's finished. I finished the game. You're going to be seeing the rest of it unfold, believe me. I want to get this finished because even though viewership on it is very bad, it doesn't matter. I like this game. I like this series, and I want to share my experience with all of you. And like I mentioned already, I've beaten the game. I've gotten like Majima everywhere to SSS rank, but I was unable to settle the score. I'm going to make sure I'm at my best, and I already did that. So trust me, and if I really want to, I plan on doing the other games to show my appreciation for a series that's going all in. That and next month is Pirate Yakuza. I call that wild, believe me. Next is Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. I finished Sly 2, Band of Thieves, so who's to say that I'll be doing the third game? I may as well, since it serves to conclude the original trilogy. Less said about Thieves in time, the better. But yeah, once Sly 2 comes to a close, I will be starting up Sly 3, which is going to be very soon. Just know that I will have to work a little harder to get the Platinum Trophy. I will get it done, trust me. That and it's $10. I'm not kidding. Now, can Sony give us the original Ratchet & Clank trilogy and Deadlocked? Yes, Deadlocked counts, but I prefer the original PS2 version. Seriously. And as I mentioned already, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. I already mentioned that, but you guys won't be seeing it until I get both Kiwami and Sly 3 done. Please bear with me on this, because I have to grind my sorry buff off for Zenlon, then the Monster Arena, and then the Temple of Trials. It's going to be wild. But hey, if I can get it done, then I can get it done. Just wish me luck, even though I know you guys may not like me doing it. Hey, it won't matter, I'll get it done regardless. But if you remember from last month's update regarding my 2025 plans, I have a few. May as well reveal one of them right now, and it's this. The original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Yeah, the original Ace Attorney trilogy. And it's going to be done with commentary. This will also be the absolute last time that I will be doing this. Why? Because I've done this one too many times. First on the DS, then on the 3DS, and then on the Switch. And all three of them had no commentary whatsoever. This will be the last time, and I got 3 reasons for it. The first is that 2025 will mark the 20th anniversary of the original Ace Attorney game for the Nintendo DS. The game that Capcom would bring over, but added a bit more to spiff it up nicely. Never thought I'd say this, but yes, this is something special. The second is, as I mentioned, I'm doing it with commentary because I have to. I already did it with Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy, as well as the Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. And finally, you can thank the fine folks at Backwood Rocket Studios and their amazing Ace Attorney fandom. I wait for when Farewell My Turnabout drops, because it's going to get wild. Let's hope these guys can pull off the third and final game, Trials and Tribulations. That's pretty much all there is for the month of January. Just bear in mind that things can change on a whim. I've said this already many times, and I will keep on repeating it. Because honestly, it's not like anyone's going to help me when it has to do with my predicament going on. And you wonder why I decided to release this on January 6th, correct? Well, if you want to know, I can honestly say with certainty that the New York Giants season has been nothing but a complete waste. I mean, looking back on the entire season, it was a mess. What you see here is proof of it because, dear Lord, I have no words. Flat out none. But I'm just a casual that doesn't see the bigger picture. Other creators like 5 Points can detail it a lot better, but I'm just going to say it here. Serious changes are needed to be made. I mean, looking back on this season, how do you go from 2-3 to losing 10 straight? 10 straight. Dumping Daniel Jones didn't make the pain go away. It made the pain more apparent. It made us realize that the Giants have much bigger needs in hand. Much bigger. Considering the past few years, it's been like that. 2 years ago, they were in the playoffs only for them to falter. Last year, they didn't even make it. They went 6-11 despite being third in the NFC East. This year, they didn't even try. They were the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs, and they couldn't even tank right. They just had to win against Indianapolis last week. And despite losing to Philadelphia yesterday, it means nothing. It means nada. The Giants are 3-14, and I can honestly say it was terrible. Had it not been for that win, they could have gotten the first overall pick with 2-15. They ended up instead with the third overall pick. Guess who got the first? Think about it. 3 teams are 3-14 this season. The Giants, the Browns, and the Titans. A 3-way tie. But the one who got it was none other than Tennessee. I don't know why, but my guess that the NFL had to settle a 3-way tiebreaker. If the Giants lost to Indianapolis, they would have been 2-15 and would have gotten first overall. Like I said, the team's a mess, and they have a lot of work to do if they're going to get their act together. Here's my advice to the Giants, and I am going to make this as simple as possible. Fire Dable immediately. The entire staff has got to go. This guy isn't going to help this team get out of the rut they're in. Not even their management staff. Mara, fire everyone right now. Knowing the Giants, they're probably going to keep him. The Giants have a lot of needs right now, and given the offseason, they're going to have a lot of work to do. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Time for my usual fundraiser update. Sadly, though, it's in a standstill, and I'm okay with it. As of now, I have $680 saved up right now in my safe. Yes, I've accumulated all the money I've made thus far, and considering that I have zero interest in getting new games, this is the only option I've got. That, and since January is where revenue will be at its lowest, I've got to hold off on things. So if you guys are wondering if I'll be doing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, sorry mates, not happening. That and $60 for an HD remake of a Wii game. Metroid Prime Remastered was $40. And it was much better, and I loved it. Why is it that this game is $20 more? Forget it. Besides, it's just another example of the Nintendo being really weird. So yes, since this is a new year, it means that the usual Dono shoutout list has been wiped. Got to in order for things to start fresh. But as I mentioned already, nobody came to help, even though I kept mentioning it at the beginning of every video. That's alright. I'm not going to shame anybody for it. If you can't, then that's okay with me. All this will do is only motivate me to keep saving money. Just know one simple thing. If in the event that my HP Omen stops working, then everything, and I do mean everything, will be put on hold. Why? Because without it, I can't do what I do best. Sure, It may derail my channel for a while, but I'm willing to adjust if it means being able to switch gears. That would mean live streaming. Seriously, I want to stream games again and hopefully do so with a better Ethernet cable because the cable I currently have isn't good enough. That and it has a tendency to disconnect. So having a better cable will mean that I can be able to stream without any problems. If that happens, then expect me to stream a lot in the hopes that I can raise enough so that I can return and get back to business. I will do what I have to if it means that I can continue doing what I love. I'll leave you with this. If you want to help me reach my goal, please donate at my PayPal below. Anyone that does will get a shout out from me. You have my word. And since this is a new year, let's see who will be the first to do so. My expectations are low. Very low. Trust me on that. They are. So if you want to help me out, please feel free to do so. This is not mandatory, but it is appreciated. I thought last month's update was long, but this one truly takes the cake. I do apologize if this is late, but I want this to be special. And if you can tell why I did, since I got reasons for it. But yep, 2025 is going to be quite a year. Will it be better than last year? Who knows? Who honestly knows? But I only hope that you guys will be there for the ride. Believe it. As I always say many times over, that if you enjoy what I do and the content that I produce, please consider supporting me, whether it be through channel memberships, my Ko-fi, which I really need to put more effort in, or through my PayPal. Anyone that does a Dono through PayPal will get a shout out. Send 100, you get one for 3 months. And if you send 400, you'll get one that lasts an entire year. Or rather, the entirety of 2025. All of it will go towards improving the channel. And believe me, it'll all be a big benefit. And like I said, since it's in a new year, I mentioned that we're starting fresh. I'm still saving up for an HP Omen laptop, and I sincerely, truly need all the help I can get. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, the like button. It means a lot. If you enjoyed this or any of my content, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. It helps. I want to improve our watch time. Last month was better, but I want it to be more better. I want this month to be better. I want this year to do better. I want it to improve, and it can be done by subbing and clicking that bell. Anyone that says it doesn't help is foolish. It really does help. I'm serious. That's pretty much it. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out.